But Johnny, let's end the podcast talking about something that I will be honest got taken away from us, as we used to have gaming here on Rick and Johnny.
Yes,
However, after Too Old the Game became a thing, which at around the time news of the game that we were talking about now, after that's announced, it'll be the 1 year anniversary of Too Old the Game. So I will shamelessly plug it. Check out Dave, Mark, and myself every week. We usually record on Thursdays, so Friday release. Every Friday it comes out. Too Old the Game on MVP, where we talk about everything gaming. This past week, your computer died on you?
Yeah, the screen just went black.
This past week, like we've talked about things like WoW. This past week we talked about the Call of Duty stuff. It's a fun time. You guys should check it out. So Too Old the Game, shameless plug right there. But I say that because we are talking about gaming here, Johnny, and a big game for both you and I, because it had to be like years ago where we got that first little kind of footage of, oh my God, they are going to make an Avengers game with Square Enix. Like basically the Office meme of like, it's happening. Oh my God, this is happening. Well, Johnny, 2019 is finally the year where we are going to find out more about it. We have found out information already, but we will find out more June 10th at E3 2019 from the Square Enix press conference. And here's what we know right now. So basically, it's going to be called Marvel's Avengers. Square Enix confirmed it would bring a new superhero game to the E3 event with a gameplay reveal coming on June 10th. Via comicbook.com, a description briefly listed on the E3 Coliseum page revealed that Marvel's Avengers will be featured on the show's official stage. This is a defining Avengers gaming experience, reads the description. An epic action adventure that combines cinematic storytelling with continuous single-player and co-op gameplay. According to the listing, the game's features allows players to form a team up to 4 heroes, each of whom, I think I'm saying that right. Just now it sounds like I'm saying it wrong. Whom can utilize their unique abilities. Sometimes the heroes can even combine their powers. There will also be hero customization, possibly with new outfits and additional items. It also mentions the ever-expanding world, which suggests that new areas could open up as players progress. Here's the thing I want to throw out to you, because this is huge. Because not only does it say that we're going to get a continuous single player and a co-op gameplay, here's the first question I want to ask you. Is, do you think this game is going to be more of a Call of Duty style game? And when I say that, I mean, here's your single player game, here's your single player story, but there's a co-op part to it that you can choose in that separate mode? Or do you think this is going to be a games of service type of game? So like Destiny, like The Division, where it's basically when you are on, you are logged into this universe, this server, and you see basically in some senses like Destiny, I see other players running around like the main hub. Like you basically go to the main HQ and see other heroes flying around and basically running around and web slinging around. Or like in The Division, hey, I've got my single game story, but hey, I invite Johnny to my game, and boom, now we're both in this world. Do you think it's going to be one where they're completely separate modes, or do you think we'll get that games of service where it's like, here's the game, there'll be other people in this game with you, and it'll be an everlasting kind of a continuous thing that they add on to?
See, the problem with that I can see with that is it could get real busy, and like, not that they would like, oh hey, you both are on the same mission now. All of a sudden, like, oh hey, your mission stopped because someone else finished it. I don't think that would happen, but it's just like the amount of people that would be flying around, web swinging around, running around might get kind of busy. Might be better to have like your single player is kind of just you.
What about the Division though? Like that style so the Division in that game, because that's also a games of service where basically when I log on, I have to log online to play.
Yeah.
And when I log on, I'm in my own climate. So basically, I'm in my own little multiverse and I'm running around doing the missions. But there are some, like the end game stuff, where it's like the 3 strongholds. All right, I gotta queue up for a group of 4 of us to complete this mission. Or like if you're on, hey, I'm gonna invite Johnny to my group, and now in this little multiverse, you and I are the only ones that are the only heroes that coexist in this universe. Could you see them doing it that way compared to keeping them separate?
I'm almost thinking about what if like there's a cap on how many heroes can be in a universe before they kind of send you over to. No, I'm saying like you can see other players playing, but it's not going to make it too busy. So there's like a cap of how many, like 20 to 40 heroes in this whole like universe.
Yeah.
And then like, hey, if you guys are a hub or server, okay, you guys are being transferred to this one because there's too many players on this one now.
Yeah, because I mean...
That way that it's not too busy, but it's not like, hey, there's no other heroes here.
I don't see it being a WoW situation. And what I mean by WoW is like, I log into WoW, I'm in the universe. And basically...
You can see everyone.
Like, for example, I was leveling up a character yesterday. I had to kill these pillagers. Well, guess what? Somebody else was running around killing the same ones. So, like, they would kill them before I could get to it. Great. I got to wait for them to respawn before I can do that. I don't think it's going to be something like that.
Yeah.
I think it will be like, and I know you
got your own missions. I
know you haven't played the Division, but that is what I'm basing it off of, where we were all in the same world. So when I was in a HQ or like a safe house, you could see other players running around the safe house. But as soon as I left the safe house, it was like, okay, you are entering your own game world, and you don't see those players anymore unless that player is invited in to your little world.
I wouldn't mind like seeing the other players as long as, like I said, it's as long as there's like a cap of how many are in that universe or in that biome or whatever you want to consider it. Just because you don't want things like way too freaking busy in there. But like, yeah, I would think that like, hey, they either keep you on separate missions so you don't have to wait for a respawn like that, like you said.
Yeah.
Or it would be like, hey, separate missions, or it'd be like, hey, just because you guys are on the same mission doesn't mean it's going to interfere with each other. It's type gaming. But that's where the cap comes in. It's like, yeah, you can bring in all like your friends, and it can be your team of 4, and those are the only ones you can really interact with. Like you wouldn't be able to interact with someone that you're not on a team with.
And that's a thing of like, here's the second part. And this is brought in from, so I listened to a podcast already about this. Kind of funny. I like their content. I think it's known as I reference them a lot on our podcast. And the reason why I bring them into it is because Greg Miller had a stance of like, so playing God of War, the new one, God of War had a distinct feeling like these heroes, we know these heroes very well. For example, he was talking about Thor. He said the thing that this game will need to do in its gameplay that basically God of War did, because like God of War, the new one, was basically like your Kratos with the powers of Thor. And the first time you threw your Leviathan axe and then hit the button to have it come back and boom, he caught the axe, you're like, holy shit, that feels really good. I need to, like, I want to feel that same feeling if I'm playing as Thor and I take Mjolnir, I throw it and have Mjolnir come back and catch it, or Stormbreaker, because maybe that's the customization thing of like, hey, maybe I want my Thor to have Mjolnir. Maybe I want it to have Stormbreaker. Maybe there's weapons from the comics that they bring in that the MCU hasn't done. Like, when I catch that, I want that to be the same feeling, that same kind of awesome feeling that it was when I was Kratos catching the Leviathan axe.
Well, the other thing I would want then too, and it'd be a little harder to gameplay it, but it isn't, because it'd be like when you take over a drone and like they had it as far back as 007.
Yeah.
Where you throw the hammer or the Stormbreaker and like you control it, because that's what he can do in the MCU.
Basically, yeah.
And actually in the comics, he can control what he's doing. It's just you wouldn't be able to like protect yourself, basically.
Well, what they could do is, since you're the only one seeing what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing. Are they going to make the gameplay first person? Mm-hmm. So basically, I'm throwing it and I see it, or are they going to make it kind of like God of War, kind of like The Division?
I'd prefer
kind
God
of
of
like
War
Call
like
of Duty,
that.
where you're in that third person where you actually see your body, kind of either floating around or walking around. Because that's another thing that's added to this game. Flying heroes.
Yes.
We don't know what heroes are going to be in here, but Iron Man, Thor, Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, like just to name a few, flying or swinging around.
Customizable too, not to mention you can customize your own hero.
And also, I wonder if we are going to get... So, Spider-Man, I don't think is going to be in this game because of two things. One, Sony would have to give them the okay.
Yeah.
And number two, I don't know if Sony would want Spider-Man in this game after they just came out recently with their Spider-Man game and already have plans for a second Spider-Man game.
That's true.
So I don't think Spider-Man will be one, but like, for example, let's say Captain Marvel's in it. Let's Iron Man, because we know he's going to be in it.
Yeah.
How is that feeling going to be of flying around, and how easy is it going to be to do so?
Yeah, it's going to be kind of... I almost want it to be like Jump Pack Farah style, where you kind of got to make sure you're doing repulsor. It's just not a one-hit button, you're good to go all the time.
Yeah. And it kind of brings me to... Oh, what was it called? The game's dead now. We played it once. Mike, our friend Mike, was Hulk. I don't know if Ron was Iron Man. I played as Captain America. It was kind of like, it was a computer game.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It was a kind of top-down view, and you could like run around with your hero doing stuff. Was that Marvel Heroes?
I think it may have been that.
I don't want it to be like that.
No,
basically.
I don't either.
Which I don't think the gameplay will, but I don't want the style of game.
Like, I want it to be like God of War, where you're kind of like third person right behind your person.
Where I feel like even that I'm third person, I am
that
this
person,
character. Yeah. And that's a big thing to me is how also, all right, you're going to get up to 4 people
on a team
per team. How many characters are they going to have? Because like, I would think they'd have Cap, Iron Man, and Thor for sure, and Incredible Hulk. You're not going to base it just to 4, right?
No.
Like, how many of these Marvel heroes do you think will be in the game?
You can have Ant-Man. You can have...
Ant-Man would be weird gameplay-wise, doing the whole shrinking thing, or
right?
or getting bigger. That would be unique, and I don't know how they would do that.
That'd take a lot of coding, just because when you do the grow, you actually move slower.
Yeah,
that'd be nuts, though.
And then like smaller, like your whole basically your whole perspective changes then, because everything's bigger than you. Shit, that'd be weird,
right?
Black Panther, I completely forgot. He's definitely going to be in it.
Captain Marvel, like you said.
I feel like Captain Marvel would. I don't know Doctor Strange, because Doctor Strange would be more of like a caster type. So I feel like they want him to be basically the what's the word? The diversity of classes, basically.
Yeah, it'd be like when you have a mage or something.
And I'm trying to think. Otherwise, off of that, do you think there's any characters we haven't seen in the MCU that they could add?
There's probably
would add.
I mean, it depends on who they have rights with too. Is it Daredevil, Luke Cage,
forgot about Jessica
Punisher,
Jones.
Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, as well as the Guardians, if you want to throw that into it. And when I see customizable, that makes me wonder: can you just like literally create your own hero? Not like, hey, I got Thor, but I can customize his costume and weapons and stuff. No, like, can I make like my own hero and play as that?
That would be weird. That you could, if you could actually make your own hero and play that. Because, like, the thing I looked up was, okay, Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah.
Which number 3 is coming out for the Switch not too long. So let's see. Their list of playable characters in that game. Captain America, Deadpool, Elektra, Human Torch, Iceman, Invisible Woman, Iron Man, War Machine, Luke Cage, Mr. Fantastic.
There you go. War Machine, Falcon.
Miss Marvel, Spider-Man, Scarlet Spider, Spider-Woman, Spider-Girl, Storm, Thing, Thor, Beta Ray Bill, Wolverine. And then they had unlockable characters of Black Panther, Blade, Daredevil, Doctor Strange, Ghost Rider, Nick Fury, Silver Surfer. Now, I know a lot of these people are going to go, well, guys, the X-Men characters, unless Wolverine, is not going to be there because it's an Avengers game. Blade's not going to be in it because it's an Avengers game. Ghost Rider, not going to be in an Avengers game. But do you think like a Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones still is in it, even if it's called Marvel Avengers?
They might have those as either like unlockables later on, or hell, they might just have those, or even
they're
like
just in the universe as NPCs we can interact with.
And even that, yeah, I would say hell, you can probably like if they do have the customize and make your own. Any Marvel hero, any Marvel Avenger, or anyone that could be in the Marvel universe, you could take powers from that and like when you make your own.
Yeah.
So if I want to combine like Iron Man and Luke Cage to some degree, hell, go for it. I mean, that would be odd, but why do I need a suit of armor when I have unbreakable skin?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, it's combinations like in the Ghost Rider, I think it also depends on what incarnation of Avengers. Like a lot of people go, "Oh, that's not in the Avengers because it wasn't in the MCU."
Yeah.
No, Ghost Rider.
It's in the comics.
Ghost Rider was an Avenger at one point.
Was
he Doctor Strange and got the Ghost Rider powers at one point.
I don't think they're going to go that crazy.
Could you imagine though?
If we got a Doctor Strange, Ghost Rider,
customizable characters, Ricky.
So here's the last thing I'm going to ask you. First off, easy question.
Yeah.
If you could pick this character, this is basically, we're not going to say it's a character or not. Basically, which character would you want to play in this, or that you really want that character in this game? And then the second question, how would you customize that character? Like, what would you draw looks-wise for that character when you play?
Are you really asking that question? I think you have an idea of what two characters I'm going to play.
They might not know. I don't know which one you're going to choose.
I think what I would want to start with, because I know he's going to be in there, is Thor.
Okay.
I want to know that. That's a tough choice. I kind of think I want to go with Stormbreaker, though. Okay. Depending if it's comic book or MCU stylized, because I like the MCU's version of Stormbreaker, where I don't like the comic book ones as much.
So you would go with Stormbreaker
if they have Thor's axe, like because there's an axe before he gets Mjolnir,
kind of like a Leviathan type axe.
Yeah, it's like the Leviathan axe. It's shaped the same way. I might actually go with the axe just for the hell of it, but I don't know if that one summons back.
I mean,
comic book wise, it might just keep the.
I mean, Kratos came back to him.
I'm just saying though. I just wonder if, like, at that point, like, if they're really gonna
Thor.
If they're really gonna take that away, just because like that's kind of a hard thing to like. Oh well, he's got this weapon, so he can't do that. It's probably just easier for them to go. He could summon it back.
You know what I would almost do? So I would be Cap.
Yeah,
but not Steve Rogers.
Really,
Bucky. I would want to.
That's another one, Bucky. I keep forgetting.
I would want to do mine, where basically it's you pick the Captain America character, but a separate skin is the Bucky version of Cap. Because the reason I love that Cap is it's Captain America with the shield, metal fucking arm.
Unless you can do a.
He's got the metal arm with the Cap logo right there on his shoulder.
Unless it's separate, like. No, I guess same idea. It'd just be like you said, different skin. Because I would say maybe the metal arm
Sam
does something.
Sam's Cap, like you could also have the metal arm do, like maybe packs more like
punch.
His punch is stronger.
That's what I was saying. Maybe it's like a Bucky skin instead, where it's like, hey Bucky, but it's Cap Bucky.
The skins don't have to be like Overwatch, where they mean nothing.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
These skins could have like, hey, if you pick this version, different attributes.
Yeah.
for that character.
Like maybe some things go down for Bucky, like maybe general strength goes down, but
maybe 2 skins for Iron Man. One would be War Machine, the other would be Iron Patriot. No, I was gonna say Rescue.
I was gonna say, what if it's just Iron Man's one, War Machine's his own?
What would you do? How much would you riot if no War Machine, no Iron Man, no Rescue, Iron Patriot is the only suit that you get in that game? How much would you riot?
Have fun with that, Ron. He's the Iron Man guy.
Johnny, have fun with that. I don't think that happens.
No,
I just throw
God,
that out.
no.
I threw that out there because I know you hate the Iron Patriot with a passion.
I don't like it, but whatever.
You maybe your hatred has dimmed down a little bit, but it was there at one point to where you...
That was stupid.
Paul Giamatti has now taken all of that hatred from Johnny for Spider-Man. But any final thoughts on this with expectations, what you're hoping for, what you hope we see in less than 2 weeks now as we sit 8 days from the presentation at E3?
I can't wait to play it. I would love to. I'm just curious, like, what
I hope we'll also find out if it's PlayStation, Xbox, or
PC.
everything.
Yeah, PC or everything.
Here's the thing. If, let's say it's everything, PlayStation, Xbox, PC, do you think it will be crossplay? Where
probably not.
Basically, hey, I'm playing on Xbox, but I'm playing with the PC guys too.
I'm thinking my money's on no, because like they don't like for example, they won't make a cross of Overwatch won't cross, because I mean the play of playing with this compared to this is immensely different from what I've been told. I don't do a lot of computer gaming.
Yeah.
But this is one where, like, if my computer can run it, I think I'll do that because we have more friends that could join our team. Because if, like, it would be 3 of us only that could do it on PlayStation.
I'm going to say with this one, yes, we will get crossplay in some way. The reason why I'm going to say yes, at the very least, I think Xbox and PC does it.
Yeah.
Sony's the wild card, where
if they want to or not.
Sony has come out and said that PlayStation 5 will be cross-play, but that doesn't mean anything for PlayStation 4. However, that's the thing. Is this game, is this going to come out? Last question I'll ask you. Does it get a 2020 release date and is one of the last games for this gen? Or will we get a release date that is 2021 and it's one of the first games of the PS5 Xbox Scarlet era?
Oh, there's an Xbox Scarlet. I didn't even know about that.
That's the last thing I heard of it. Was that's the working title.
I'm hoping that last game for this gen.
Johnny's like, as a PC guy, I don't care. It's just a release.
I'm not
date
even a PC guy.
But if you're gonna play it on PC, really, you don't. Gens mean nothing.
Only reason I'm saying I want to play on PC is because we have more friends to play it with. Then
yeah, I get why. I'm just saying if we're gonna play it on PC. Gens mean nothing.
Exactly.
So you think it'll be a 2020 release?
I'm hoping for a 2020 release.
I'm leaning that way only because, like, if you're gonna make this big debut, like, basically whipping it out and laying it on the table kind of announcement, then why would you do so for a 2021 release date?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you're gonna do this guns a-blazing. Like, hey, Sony ain't here. They're not PlayStation ain't doing it. We took their spot. This is why we're doing it.
Yep.
This is why we took their spot at E3. This is where you guys come in. Let us know what you guys think down below in that comment section. What do you expect from this? What do you want from this game? What do you think it'll be like? Marvel's Avengers, I can't wait for it. I will be watching the Square Enix press conference. Hopefully, Dave and I are working on maybe watching these live on the YouTube channel. So, Johnny, you're more than welcome if you're available.
Yeah.
To come to any of them if you want, but especially the Square Enix one.
Mainly
that's
Square
where we'll
Enix.
get the Marvel Avengers. But thank you guys for listening to the podcast. Let us know what you think about anything we talked about, especially if you're on Blog Talk Radio, listening to the whole thing and other podcast services around the world. Make sure to check out patreon.com/mostvaluablepodcast. That's where you help support us. Make sure to rate us on iTunes and Apple Podcasts. Those 5-star ratings help us out a lot. And make sure to check out Too Old the Game for more gaming content here on MVP. Johnny is at War Machine 9085. I'm at Ricky Widmer. Most Valuable Podcast is at Most Valuable Pod. want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. And as always, have a good day, everybody.